mi phatawi yam lei aduna firan chikhatwani yelak tanabana adu firan do chikhaladi yela roi ana vote budi tamoi bom sa da thada ni na mana ngon da phone toroga hairapani nahanji aduna takpadi lamlai da leiriba firan chikhalliba singse manung de hidden agenda ama leire manung da kariguma pot khar leire manung da kariguma wakhalon khar leire aduna firan chikhata yana chikhatpane na khalle sida laiba mayami lising mari manga lai se firan dugi hairo disi yum momam da tara theladi moina kasu heloine firan masingi wade adubu unnecessary da kanadi hayuna khanbadu akoigi leiriba mi singina hen mana maram orkanda madu tawdabani na khalle tu tangai padana aina mayam da haijagadabdi mayam da aina thamjagadabdi firan haiba poche ama khak leibani ko sum chatpasidane firan gu mami gi firan ama hi yungambase masi heta sang manungai tabani heta changjalaga wari free oina saba yadabani ko aduna yaragadi koi kanoge koi kai bom sagi ne na leibiriba mayam punamukse akoi gi thongang na bahaigadra hongat ku mahaigadra firan ja mom thesaladi ko akoi mi se pak ti noi da wari di saroi aduna ai wakhandadi adum thetpana phare kabasu dum mana soi karani handakti yararoi mayam loi khange ba handakti akoi papu batalle se mayam loi khangne ba aduna papu batan banina mayam so adum handakti adum monda pirasi tarela lepa banina monda pibirasi handaki se sen yiwana teba sen pai da wi wai da tongana thamraga handakti monda pi da yadabani haibase mi khudimangna loi hairabane aduna takpadi lamlai kendra su soidna handaki tha sigi manungda vote thadaraga mathangi march ki tha sidadi soina thamban salani haibase ai wakhanda chele mayam yabro yaiko aduna akhoina hujik maruoina ai lofom gi wakhal Loumee gi wakhal ai kitang chingjanjage akoi lamlai da lau mapu se lakpiriba mayam manung sa haitare ko lau mapu se masing yam amoy lau se mi gi lau uba anamana oigane tasengma Loumee di mi gi lau ubana namane aduga kharaga sen kharaga paiba mi sinduna lau uba laoi kharaga sen paiba mi sinduna lau san oina lauwe aduna lau da maru ina kummi si kanano haibase adu khangma darkar le hojik lau unabu honabu matamda khoigani pengani har saigani khawgani yaigani adugi matik yam khre adigi hojikti akhoi aigi di handak akhoi kendagi di loi phagre ising je akhoi na pam toro pibani na adu aigi di खुराई दे लौ से लेतबा अदो इशाना सु उबने हंदे भोट म्यास ने न उजु होद्रे अदो लौ दो लोई सिट करे हंदते ल तखेन द खरा लेबनी इसागी अकोई इपू की हाक तक लेरम बाहाई तारे अदो लौ उबंगम दे मरम दे अकोई इसिंग लेते ब तखेन द अना लौ उरिबा कांगु पुनमक से मसिदैजा हुजिक लेरिबा फिल्म जैजा सरकार सिने अकोई इसिंग की मोंग से फजना पी अदो डबल क्रॉपिंग तौजे हाइबसे अखोई लौरिबा मिसिंसिना दि पामजबा मपुसिना दि खरा पामबा वाले करिगिनो हंगोरकांदा हार मांगनी लेहाव मांगनी हाय अदो आइना ngए लेहाव मांगदुसि कमाई मांगदुनो हंदसु चाइदुनि हार मथंगजु दुम चाइदुनि हार कराइदि लेहाव मांगदुनो ना हंगबदा ए याम तोइना थारदि लेहाव फबा नते सिबु याब्रो यादब्रो आई खंगदबैनि को यांगिजे aduna lopuduna elis field kumaba adu igadi kitang akoi khangane aiju akoi gi kendra dagi leiba ai gi maru pang kyam lei masai lo leijadaba adu singdo akoi punu umine ai gi di akoi di mi yam de akoi imung gi de aduna akoi di lo phau yam darka leite aduna akoi khara khak toroga adu mayam do umine bo moina haibadadi chahi ahung gi manung da akoi na amu ui अतई ये न मोइन मुई अदमाई सुम उने ada moina haibadadi kaisu kaiba leite isingbu leedi double cropping tobu yai aduna chief minister gi miyeng makada handak lamlai kendra masing yam yawbane akhoi gi pam torogo chingkhatpagi akhoi gi lainung dagi torogo chingkhatpaje ado lamlai kendra mafam do mayam yawri bane adubo yamna lawsi pak chauna leibanina madu konrang madabdi mande adubo akhoi na khanbada tasengna akhoi na khanjabadadi madu mafam gya singdo tatana sembira matungdadi soidna mai pakani na khaleb sigi turin sigi lokho macha cheliba marakta leiriba stream macha singse akhoi fajana honaragadi akhoi chahi ama manungda amukta nati anirak ubu matamdadi yadoke henna kane aigi kendra da mayam ne henna ubirongani hek aigi kendra da leiriba ising gi turenje ahumne ising turenje ahumni ising yam marang kain phangmani na maram oikanda akhoi gi kendra dadi lau ubadagidi maroi nakopi thabane na tongjaye na moidi lau amtu ude akhoi gi kendra dadi kamai toge ha kanda maroi nakopi je ising marang kain na leibne maroi nakopi je pak tak na thai aduga madu lau mapuduna chahi manungda phawot kum magi phaudam sen haigadra adamaina pi aduga lau mapuduna adugi chahi manungda phawot kun pira matungda atai dadi loinamak tha ni da magi phawot kun gi paisa do hanjale ana tha tara di free da paisa sabna maram orkanda madu ju paisa yam changi adi isam samna mina di haiba lau uba adagi hingon koi bise paisa changa moi do man ba ni am chang mani aduna na saige aham bagi sem na bai pose toropo matam da group amana paisa thadai adi sem ka na mana faido mama da paisa suk lau rane adu bokta adum nomogi paisa kya lem ge se akhoi khurai da di adamain toroga mi kaya ma hinge aduna moirangamu sajeb maruoina kangla sifai kangla sangom sang masi loi towe do hujik lamlai kendra manung da ju khara di udi ui yam pakta na udi natte ado akhoi siga khwai chana badi khoi maruoina ko biji yam chana bane aduna turin mapan da leiriba maruoina sona kan mamanglong gi di turin achobu leitrabni na haiba ngamdre maninglongi haiba tare akhoi gi na sai yorbung asai sidi dum yam phajana ising marang kaina phangmo jaga ni na turen nakpanina akhoi loina mu system kya da torpu yae aduna masigi poche akhoi ye kakai bom sajina hadak hek elections loibaga mai budi pane hek loibaga ihana na kendra seisa pumping se akhoi ye diesel na chingmajdi am mangjabane ya mangjabne diesel na chingmase ana diesel na chingdabide electric noina electric ke 15 horsepower ki 10 horsepower ki pump do madu paisa su yam pi da bani madu na akhoi pump set khara tawrakanda di akhoi loina mu anakpada turen pan da leiba ga di loina mai pak pa yagani na ina khalle aduna atai mafam duna boring to holaga hulalaga aduga atai mafam khara madana adamain tawrakanda akhoi gi leiriba low mayam singse pak tak na akhoi ubu yani na in khalle aduna mayam punamakta aina nasi mayam mafam da thamjari sini mayam mafam da aina hek ma hak na karak pa matung da akhoi lopom jinje hoi amuk ta loi tawbudi ngamoi mafam kharadi akhoi soidna tawhonjage na ai Loumee isil naw sing mafam da ai mayam mafam da ai thamjaramge ana mayam punamona thajaba si leibiyo ana kagai bom sagi magi wakhalon akhoi munna khangi akhoina thangnaba kendra oiso akhoi mamang da su hanjan panjai duni hek darkar lerakpada atopa MLA kya gi manakta chatraga su ai manakta MLA oidingai da suti nei hoji oire matung da suti nei aduna hek darkar leba lamlai kendra gi masagi nataba lamlai kendra gi khanma mi se mahang natana topa leite na khali aduna mahang ne hek darkar lerakpada ai gi mateng hek lobula pa matamda aina angama mateng pangjabani aduna leibiriba lamlai gi leiriba ichil naw sing lamlai gi leibiriba halaman sing naha sing mayam punamak mikap thosi aduga siri KSS ibom chada akhoi vote pibiraga akhoi lamlai gi awonba lamlai kendra gi awonba प्रजासिंगी अवोन ममा पोरोनबो होनो मतमदा मयाम पुनमना मतेंग पांगबियो हाइना हाइजगे मयाम पुनमना मसीम तंग लौसन बियो नाई स्वाई सुम थमजगे अदुगा अइना मयाम मफमदा अमतंगा अखोई लमदम असे यामना फबा प्रजासिंग यामना नुसिबा अदुगुम्बा लमदम अमने अदुबो अइना पेंदबा अम खक्ति लेई अदा नहानसे ककाइबोम साना अइना हेक पेंदबसे हाइगलेना हाइरनो दे हाइदे हाइबने अदु अयम तंग फोंदोक्सगे माना मतेंग पांगिबो मयाम जिंगसिना भोट से पिबिरदिको अइना सुम कनबदा पैसाना मतेंग पांगबदि नतेको मादी मागी पांगलना माना नमजबा चेना सोंगदना होनबनी को माइदे अतैगिना पैसाना मतेंग पांगबो ओरमदि याय अदु महाकी पांगलना मतेंग पांगजरिबा मयाम से मसीना भोट पिबिरदि अइगी वाखलदि सोइना माइ पाकदना खले कानबा खतंग लौनिंगबा मिवोनदि भोट पिनिंगदबा हाइबसे मसी क्वाइली लाइबक थिबा पोट अमने हेक दरकार लेरपगे एमएलए द हाइरुदबिदा भोले पिबा मी अमदा भोट काहौदबा मी अमदा चलगा हाइरगा आई वाकरनी आईगिनी न खलगा हाइरगा नसिदी कैदौरे भोले पिबा मयाम थोलपदगी हाना तौगिबसिंदो हे कावे मयाम कावरब्रो लमलाई बाजारदा कांग्रेस ना पालिंगाई मतमदा होइदना नुपा नुपी खंगदगे मयाम फू चाहिबा तौगिबा कनागी मतमदनोबा कनागी मतमदनो मदु मयाम पुनमन कावबिगनोबो हे कावगनबगी थबकसे मसी अखोय तोकथोकसेबा अखोयसे मीना अखोयसे करी ओइना हाइनरंगदगे हाइबसे अखोय मुन्न खंगमम दकाले अखोयने यंगबियो हौगिबा कांग्रेस ना पालिंगाई मतमदा चाही चा क्या मतमदा मी क्या हाटख्रे मी क्या सीग्रे मी क्या फाग्रे मी क्या लुखाबी ओहिंग्रे हाइबसे अखोय नसी लोय कावे अदुना दोलदि दुम होंगकपा मतमदुगी सरकार दो होजिंगना मतमदुदा ओइरंबे एमएलए अतोपदा भोट होजिंगना अतोपदा लेपबा अदुगुम्बा मीदुदैदा हंजन चंगजन हाइबसे लमलाई लेरिबा प्रजासिंगसे हालनगे हाइरिब्रा नत्रगना मोइगी थवाइजी सिनरगे हाइरिब्रा हाइबसे अइ मयाम पुनमक्ता हंगदबा ngamde अदुगुम्बा वाखलोन कयादो अखोय लमलाई बाजारदा थोखिबा थौदोक कयामा फेक एनकाउंटरगी इशू कयामा अदुगुम्बा मयामदो अखोयना सि कावबो थोकते कावबम थोकते अदुना अखोय मतम खुदिमक तो अखोय निंसिंगबा हाइबसे अखोय तंगाई फदन लेबा दरकार ले अखोयना अखोय हानगे ऑनरेबल एमएलए ओइबिरिबा अखोयगे मियोइसे मसिगी मतंगसे अइसे नसिगी प्लेटफॉर्म से पनिंगदबने अदुबो अइ मतेंग खता अइ पंजरमगे पल्लनोबा ओ पलोबा अइदे तसेंगना माइ हाइनिंगद्रबने कइनोदा से अखोयसे हेक इलेक्शन मतम योरकांदा अइनगा ngai पार्टी दा बीजेपी की सरकार थुगाइननबो होनर मनुपादुना अखोय की बीजेपी की फ्लैग पाइरदना अदगी मयुमदगा खोरमबगा फोटो उबनिको अइ मिटमंगदि उद्रिको अदुगा बीजेपी दो अइना पूरा लाक्तोरिमेन मोइना खलिसी बीजेपी से अखोयगे मागी वाकर खरा मागी वोटर खरा सेन थुमनगा पंग्या याबदो अदुमाइना बीजेपी से यागदबोइना खल्लुब्रा कइनो खंगदे माइदो अखोय बीजेपी की सिस्टम सिदि अदुदा यादे अखोय सरकार मथा सागिबसे मा हेक सेंगबो नुमितगी अखोय मथा साबा होग्रे अखोयना फरदुबोय निंगी करीनो ममयमा उतोंग थारगा चुम्मसु अदुम हेता कोन्सल लेदो अदु फियम दो हेता तवे अब aduna aigi wakhaldadi ko moina hek chang panumitudagi yamna nungaina leijaramba BJP gi sarkar se aduki mati matha sabu oike adu aina khalle as masigi mawong jida sum tawrade moi myam bu senagadra praja gi akhoi tawgani na hairiba myam ji bu tawbu ngamgadra ngamoidra na akhoi ya wadan leibne sarkar hanjan na thugaina na bu honari bu nupa se BJP gi sarkar hanjan na thugaina bu honari bu nupa se atai crime ta gi natte lamlai dagi karak khiba nupa do adugi nupa do na ne BJP sarkar thugai ga damne na ngalega amadu mu chongsan amadu mu chongthok amadu mu kakka amadu mu kukka tawuse lamlai gi huji nupa do na ne ado aina khalleba as masibu karam kanda tokhidu jano masim da tokhade nungaini da na akoi khalleba aduga last day isor ubu jane sum thodana ba asuna khangi jail asuna ngi kem du sangure kem du sangudi thokpasu yadre moi gi akoi ge lugum hai tare sanction gi yaba tholopadi yadaba kem oi bajane adudane ai imanaba marup hojipudi MLA oigidre nasina samban chonga thole kaina khabar da yaugrido moina sang leibane ba ana sarkar je thugai dia de birena tawri se chingdam akoina dogwana congress na chahi 10 manga chingga tamga nungsidana na honara pase biren gi sarkar chahi ani unga pai basina nungsina han gi dre masi nungsina gi ba yade na khalla kanda ne ba biren gi sarkar thugai na hona ba khwai gi leader oi noi lamlai de gi ne ba ado aina sai hek panjabisda lamlai dini he haibisda akoi lamlai dagi ne na hayak pose masi nungai to mi budi soidna swaida yaw diaw ngada male yaw bro yaw de ko ado lamlai dagi ne ba aduna taseng na kanda biren na ching tamje aduki mati nungsina na bo hone ching tamje aduki mati akoi laina number relationship phana bo honara pose adum kaina na hona bagi pose moi amani sina oi keba ma khata na te moi amani lei adu makok ti moi oi ba aduna akoi hojikti akoi isa mada ukhul da na jagana tamilong da na jagana senapati da na jagana mafam khudi makta haiba tare manipur gi haiba jaga sigi si chatpa matam da matam mamam da di ai isa nu pa do ukhul transfer thare haiba da akoi di mi siraboi ninge ba kapo lawo to do kari daroge kapo lawo to isibo na ha kana transfer thara koi ni ha karai da ukhul da ado hujikti ukhul da transfer thaba do hujikti chasarage na koi sarkar matam sid lei se kari gi no chingdagi lakwa mina ai khurai lamlong kai thel doida chana ba khara puru lakwa matam da chana ba khara pujara laga machagi imung manungi जीविका हिंगना बन होना जबसिंग दो अकोई यामना तरामना ओए मतम खरदी खुराई लमलोंग दा चिंगमी क्या लाको लेब अममने होजिकती खुराई लमलोंग से चिंगमी म्यान पेक थली बने अकोई सोंदी चखिबदा उखुल रो लमलोंग की हेक बजा यौदिबोक से चिंगमी म्याम की लाखमने अदो होजिकपो अकोई न मोई मफम दा चलुबा मोई न अकोई मफम दा लाको से सिदगे अद्याना फ्री ओइबसे मसी अखोइदी पुंसीदबु थाजरुद्रेब ओइरकनी हाइब खल्लुदेब अदुबु नसी श्री एन बिरेन सिंह लुसिंग मखादा सरकार असिना मदुगुंबा मयाम सिंह अदो नसीदी कोहनबिदना मदुगुंबा मयाम सिंह दो अखोइ नसी चिंग अमसुंग तमसे नुक्सिना हलकपसे मसी खग येंगा अखोइदी बीजेपी दा दुम हंजन भोट पीब यारबनेना इदि खल्लेब आइदी मसीदा दुम येंगा अखोइ भोट पीब यारेन खल्लेब अदु अखोइ खंगदे अखोइ होजि भोट म्याददि करी नो याम हाइनबने अदु अमत ताबिरुनो हौगिबा चाही मरी मखाइ मंगा होजि मंगा फागा तौरे सिदैसिदा इमा इबेल सिना अहिंग यारेक्तना मैरा पाइबी संसारना लेखाय अमद कनोमा प्रॉब्लम थोय हाइबदे युमद तुम फंगदबदो मदुगी अवाबदुमदि बीजेपी हाइबा अदुनोबा बिरेंगी सरकार असिना मयाम पुनमद खुदोल पीरिबसे मसिदैसिदा अखोइ पेथोप ngамद्रिसे करिगिनो हाइबसे अखोइना सि इसा इतंदा हंगबा मतम यौरे nahan chahi hek nasidagi mangai mamangdadi akhoi mayrai pai sangda yare amaneba ima ibel myam singse aduga hojikti akhoi yum yum da leire khena base matam amadadi petrol launa bo honam tamda duki mati warami petrol liter ama launa honam da duki mati warami economy blockade adu ada na mayam hai akhoi gi sarkar sina hek lerak pa matungda adu umba economy blockade ki oisu amagi oisu amata akhoi leite ado ngarang nahan kana no tv gi interview da hai gi bam di tai mana hai base kari hai ge hai kanda ban tawgada mi du ga moi ga tinadan leire aduna blockade tawdabani ga hai akhoi ga tinaba yari ba mi se kari condition da khoi tinage akhoi tinari se kari hai ga tinage akhoi ga sarkar ga akhoi ga parja ga tinari ba poche parja ga chami nei poche kari dano makoi kharana matam dura su adum lei hojik su adum lei matam dura su naharon adum lei hojik su adum naharon lei akhoi ga yanara chali si karino praja na pami si karino sarkar na miyam gi damakta praja gi damakta thabak tobiu haiba natro adu miyam gi damakta thabak tawdaba sarkar dudi miyoi ba khudimangna masana thingakpa tabani masana nungsirakta tabani akhoi hoje akhoi gi sarkar asina praja na pama thabak sindo tawbana maram orakanda miyam puramuna akhoi gi sarkar biren gi sarkar na mayam punna pamrei se aduna ne have ataina nate akhoi ne heta akhoi ne heta haijelaga yaba nate aduna tabe issue kaya ama leigre akhoi yengo manipur seida lamlai kendra dagi haijeb lamlai kendra dagi mi kaya ama lamlai kendra dagi mi kaya ama akhoi inner line permit pina bo honama matamda PBO na haiba matamda matamduki sarkar do chahi 15 sarkar do maduna inner line permit ki damda kari honaramge akhoi gi tena paliba chahi 5 khatang phadriba piba sarkar gu bane basidi angang macha gu sarkar sina aduk yamna chawraba chahi 15 honaraba congress na chahi 15 inner line na permit na lawrapado akhoi gi somlatagi chahi 5 khatang ngairiba sarkar sina manipur miyam punamangna pamnaramba valley da leiba amasu manipur gi leiba chingdam da leiba miyam punam pamnaba inner line permit system do BJP ge sarkar sina piri base masi khudol sina koi penmam thok tabrai che akoi na si hangmu yaraba wakham ne aduna aina mayam da atai mayam su koi party gi atai mayam su leibiri aduna aina mathang atai mayam palle ga di am sangani adubo aigi kendra da leiba aigi ichil naw sing akoi gi lamlai da ong hiba lamlai da lei hiba ichil naw sing mayam punau ta aigi kendra gi ichil naw sing dai haibane lamlai da di kakai bom sa kahan ji praja ga chamina ba yaba praja ga thabak tomina ba yaba mioi di mana tabdi lamlai kendra da leite aduna ma ka halak se na aigi maru mapang sing akoi gi ningol ong hiba sing akhoi gi mari mata leiba sing da khoi loina mo haibane aduna ai handaki wakalda ai ne khomu ba mi sing je handaki mamang da di kanogi ni adugi ne da gi ni he hairei ko handaki he khomu mi sing je kakai bom cha gi ni magi ni na dom mai na dum haira posin maru mo kanda ai wakanda di soidna mai pakani haibagi adum achepa thajaba lei aduna mayam punamona akhoi polling booth singda polling the library by my building ichil now singna yam kopni yang biobo akhoi nasi nupi singna akhoi thabak tawba matamda adagi vote tawba matamda akhoi nupa singna yengbada suan ubanga moidaba pot khar lay madui matang da haijage nasai gi manung da vote sidi akhoi gi yumda aigi loina biga tinabi mama nabim lai adu mabani na wari sanai do ai kai haino do ai khangde ai taru de ba changaga aduga wari do ai na taba ngamude mabani na hainai do kaino khangde adubu nupa singna nupa amana hek laga ai ngonda wari sawa damdi thongjin mapan da lepa ta lerame ana moina di wari si irai lai na khang mangame moi kai dauduri ge se aduna nupi singna yamna thamoi sengba kakai bom chagi damda aduki mati khona base masina takpadi nupa sing dudi soidana moi gi leiriba strategy sing election की मनुंग कई दौरीगे कमाई दौरीगे से लोई खंग मंगवनी अदुना मोइना चेलकप मतमदि सोइदना माइ पाकदवनिना अखोई नुपीसिना खरा चेक्शन ना हुजिक लैरिबा बुट बुटता अखोई पोलिंग द लैरिबा इमाइबेलसिना अखोई कनाना करी दौरीगे से अखोई तेंजे की मी अदगी कनोगी हेमलेट की अदगी को अदगी खुबा की अदगी मयाम सिंदो मदुगी मी चांगपो मतमदा लाखो मतमदा अखोई सिगी मीसे चंगे हाई हदिक अखोई म्याम से करीनो सानरी से मधु अखोई याम चेक्शन बद कालनी को अखोई मीदी फिक्स न लेरमनी काननबा मोई मी खतनी को अखोई थुगाइन बु होनब लाक्तोय से अन अखोई मी फिक्स न लेरबनी अखोई मी सिंसे मसे काहेंद्र लोइरे अखोई मीबु काइददे मोई गिदी काइम बेरा लेत्रे अखोइना सोइद्र माइ पाकनी हाइबो वाफम सिंगसे थमजरगा नसिगी ओइनदी
The top news headlines: JP NADDA releases BJP's Manipur Manifesto 2022 UPSPA scheduled tribe issue missing in manifesto. Chief Minister BJP indulged in organized violence out of fear for defeat in ensuing elections, alleged AICC election observer of Manipur J. Ram Ramesh. And JDU candidate of High School AC Thongnawjam Brinda vows to introduce special policy for people with disabilities. Hello, a very good evening. You're watching the Mami TV English News in Focus with me, Cheng Lenganbi. The news in detail. National President of BJP, JP NADDA, who arrived at Imphal by a special flight today, released the election manifesto of the party called Manipur Manifesto 2022 for the elections to the 12th Manipur Legislative Assembly. The manifesto releasing function was held at the Classic Grande at Chingmairong, Mamang Laikai. Chief Minister Pungdongbam, Chairman of the Drafting Committee of the Election Manifesto, Union Minister of State for External Affairs and Education, Dr. R.K. Ranjan, President of BJP Manipur Pradesh, Devi, Member of Rajya Sabha King Sanajau Balai Semba, BJP in charge Manipur Sambit Patra, and several other important figures of the party were present at the function.
Now, to promote local tourism, we will be giving loans for developing homestay, and it will generate at least 1 lakh employment opportunities in the state, and this is how we are going to work. I have tried to, there are many highlights in this manifesto, but I have tried to touch few of them, only to reiterate that we stand for providing support to the first of all, to women, to farmers, to youth, and to support and strengthen the left out marginal section of the society.
The Yamaruina, Equidi, Manipur Samas, Mete, Naga, Kuki, Mete, Bangalore, Samas, Equidi, Alasim we are the Luna Tongo, Quickshoe, Adu Makalgi, Zatini, Adona say the hands in the pencil, Lupasani Sanika, and polishing of Hankat people see the engine going to Harau Zagadaba, fully when implement on Hans Ribere, what we promised we delivered. Report card with photographs like there is no hanky panky. False photos, Hapson Beade, Samson Beade. I don't know, Tony Hanky but a photographer when a report card when I am like. I don't know, high river, Nasis later, the details. Honorable National President of the Highway Keeper, Keeper Commitment, next 5 years, with the blessing of the people of the state, government Sulakane Kali, so in the 40 plus Tangaga Pesaka Semin Kali, Masila Pakana Mayam Sepe, deliver Sungsoi Shoy in the Praja, the Winnie Prajamian, Manipurimian, the Winnie Manu commitment is a real Kurumzen.
The 20-point manifesto promises to protect the territorial integrity and preserve the rights of the indigenous people of Manipur and its rich cultural heritage. It says free scooty will be provided to all meritorious girls of the state. It says girls from economically weaker sections and backward sections will be provided with an incentive of 25,000 rupees under Raini Gaindilu Nupi Mahairoi Singhi scheme. Free laptops will also be distributed to all the meritorious students passing class 12 to support their higher education, the party assures. The monthly pension for all the senior citizens in the state will be increased from 200 rupees to 1,000 rupees. However, the manifesto does not mention anything about UPSPA and scheduled tribe demand. All India Congress Committee AICC election observer of Manipur J. Ram Ramesh has alleged that the Chief Minister and BJP indulged in organized violence out of fear for defeat in the ensuing 12th Manipur Legislative Assembly elections. Jairam Ramesh made a remark with regard to a poll-related violence during the flag hosting ceremony of Congress candidate of Saikul Assembly constituency, Hinkim Haukip. Speaking to media persons at a press meet held at Congress Bhavan on BG Road today, Secretary of Election Committee of Congress candidate Hinkim Haukip, Miller Ningsen, said the election committee was making all the preparation for flag hosting ceremony of Hinkim at the playground near CMC Hospital, Koringe on February 14. The committee received a call on February 13 from a person who claimed to be a worker of the Chief Minister and restricted them from conducting any meeting at the playground and asked them to convene the meeting inside the residential complex of the candidate, following which the committee decided to conduct the meeting at the candidate's residence. On the same day, Merapaibi members of the locality came to the residence of the candidate in the evening and told the committee members that the meeting cannot be conducted at the candidate residence too. When the candidate requested members of the women organizations to conduct the meeting inside the residence, they told the candidate that the road belongs to the locals and no vehicle can be parked on the road, Miller related. He further alleged that during the flag hosting ceremony on February 14, locals of the area came and raised hand to the workers of the candidate and the son of the candidate. 3 persons sustained injuries in the incident. The locals also allegedly punctured tires of the vehicles parked in the area and pelted stones on the house of the candidate. An FIR has been registered at Haingang Police Station in connection with the incident, Miller Ningsen said. AICC election observer of Manipur, Jairam Ramesh, further alleged that the Chief Minister and BJP have committed the organized violence for 14 times in 6 different constituencies. He expressed fear that the conduct of free and fair election will be hindered considering the current political scenario in the state and maintained that it is the violation of democratic rights of the people, stating that an AICC team has called upon the CEO of Manipur in this regard yesterday. He said that complaint will also be raised to Election Commission of India. Jairam Ramesh also expressed desire for officials of civil administrations and police department to take up necessary steps at this juncture.
This is organized violence. This is not random violence. This is organized by the Chief Minister. It is organized by the BJP. It is organized because the BJP has read the writing on the wall. They know they are not coming back to power. They know that the people of Manipur will not place their trust and confidence in the BJP once again. And these are all pressure tactics. Under these circumstances, free, fair and peaceful elections are simply not possible. The police administration, the civilian administration is dancing to the tune of the Chief Minister and the BJP. And I am afraid that under these circumstances, the people of Manipur will be denied their democratic right.
Speaking to media person, Congress candidate of Saikul Assembly constituency, Hinkim Haukip, said restrictions has never been imposed on flag hosting ceremony of any candidate in the past, stating that Manipur belongs to all the candidates, said that she condemns the violence in connections with election as a women candidate. Hinkim also expressed strong condemnation against the tracing of her workers and son by the locals. She also urged everyone to extend support to ensure the conduct of peaceful, free and fair elections.
Flag hosting numita aigi icha phao in ising lo matha ta phubire aduguma to badudi aigi da maktadi aina khanbada di yam phatte haina khalle kana oiraso in haising ning badi Manipur da leba makai se koi Manipur gi mi natra asida ama tawraga ma phunaraga chaina basidi chumde iyumda flag thepa yade aigi poster kaino to ba yade ha basidi asidi yamna nungai taba thodokni aduda adu numita thodok thokpada media su yam laye media mayam laye adubu media na kana su thokpide asidi nupi candidate ama oina egi nupi sing su yauri aduga media sing haibsi ay ayam khangba khaktani aduda aina yengi bani karigino egi yumda su thina tawbiba matam sida.
JDU candidate of Yaskol Assembly constituency, TH Brinda, has vowed to introduce a special policy for people with disabilities if she is elected in the upcoming general elections. She said this during a program titled Pre-Opinion Poll of the Candidates for the Elections to the 12th Manipur Legislative Assembly, organized by State Platform of Disabled People Organizations, held today at Manipur Press Club. Candidates of different political parties attended the program. Speaking on the occasion, she said, irrespective of whether it is included in JDU manifesto, she will take up steps for upliftment of disabled persons, stating that she has been working for them even before becoming a candidate. Brenda said, a society cannot develop without development of this section of people. As such, she laid emphasis on providing better educations to them.
Differently able sila ay nung giyera, ang ani thong nang ui. Mapangal po kaya ba mas productive force o po kaya ba makalgi differently able lama. Ano ka sumo huwag pang maroy dapat ako sumo maroy dapat differently able lama. Ado itara gadi masagi mapangal pa mapangal thong na simba ya dapat productive force o na sa. Tong ba ya dapat differently able may ado. Mo gilay ba merit mo na season na mapangal area do ay ko ito sindi ka pa special status pila. Ado ikaragadi mahasap ko na nabagi financial security laire at the same time kunay suka na pa mahal. Ado ito na hayan ko na decision making dama sa kayawang karoy.
Taking part in the program, President of SPDPO Mohammed Yunus Khan lamented the non-implementations of the Rights of Persons with Disability Act 2016. He stressed on the need to build development structures in a way that disabled person can utilize them with ease.
Karam MLA na karam party na disabled ka mata pukalaga na inekyu jawti maram di mo knowledge na tumi jawti khana de al mo knowledge na tare sum amale hay mo ne kan ya ba tasena ege rule ni jawri ekoi gi sadaroi sila su kya jawri disabled singi matam tu ni sana ba ano ro ba kuchukla equipment piba free training piba mai satpan matamda mai changga da khasa ko puchokpa ege ru jaw ba ngasi bo kan ko disabled chalage kar bo disabled puchokpi lagi.
As the COVID-19 pandemic in India indicates a sustained downward trend, Union Health Secretary Rajesh Bhushan has asked all the states and union territories to review and amend or end additional COVID-19 restrictions. In a letter to the states and the union territories, Bhushan said that the Union Health Ministry has revised the international travel guidelines since February 10, 2022. The Union Health Secretary also said that the government is changing the existing guidelines and aiming to minimize it with the changing epidemiology of the COVID-19 virus globally. Meanwhile, as per the instructions of the central government, the state government announced partial modifications to the January 6 COVID-19 protocol for both vaccinated and unvaccinated persons with travel history entering the state with immediate effect. The new notification stated that unvaccinated person or persons who have received only one dose of COVID-19 vaccine will be allowed entry into the state only on mandatory productions of COVID-19 negative test reports taken within 72 hours before the arrival in the state. However, persons who are fully vaccinated, that is received 2 doses with COVID-19 vaccine, will be permitted to enter the state on productions of the vaccination certificate at the entry points of the state. Chief Minister N. Biren appealed to the people to make sure that Congress, who made the people unrest for many years, does not form the government in the state again. He said this yesterday during a flag hosting ceremony for BJP candidate of Khangabok AC Pungdongbam Mangang. Speaking on the occasion, he said people of the state are fully aware about the difference between the 30 years of Congress government and just 5 of BJP government. Hence, he sought people's support for the return of BJP in the elections to the 12th Manipur Legislative Assembly.
Yung ngarang nahan nong majing numita vote tare election do nong majing numita tare na ingon da CPD mayam tribal gi koi isilina using koi search ki ay honorable prime minister jan takti asum adum manung mak telephone kai ge dum to bire ebo adik mai si du soi PM do copy sama tare copy em tare home minister message tare sar sumai na koi gi di Manipur gi se Christian gi sin using si moi ingon da su memorandum pyramid aduga election commission jo pi hai sar yaradi sunday si moi research ka banina masi hapetang semtok senmin to wiradi sar nungai ni sar na election commission da karida haibi ba yabal eraga di na haibado hapta phade ba sunday da taram modu monday do onthok pirei duni sida bu communal way je kamaine no ba koina hari je bhab ta de masi sandoi mams.
Addressing the people, BJP candidate from Khangabok AC Manjil said he appealed to the people to extend their support to Chief Minister Biren's-led government in the efforts of bringing development to the state. He decided to contest in the election as a BJP candidate with an objective to make developed and peaceful AC Menjo Mangang said.
Tension Jarabada, Karigumba Mang, the Linshin Biribi, Ima Saklabi, CM Saklabi, Ahalaman, Marumapang Mayam Sina. Nuksibiduna, Adongi Mamalayam Lava Sakti doing on the Pibiduna. I have to my Pakan Biraba, Amasung, I want the Sakti to Sinarabadi, Honorable Shingi Apam Basida, Tung Inzaraga, Manipur Sakhalan Bada, Bharat Sakhalan Bada, I Ishagi Tawai Haksang say, I Katok Jagani Haina, Nasimia Mamang the Tamzari.
The flag hosting ceremony of Republican Party of India RPI Atwale candidate in Wangkhem Assembly constituency Dr. Nimai Chan Luang was held at the candidate's residence at Yaripok Bisnu Naha today, attended by Union Minister of State for Social Justice and Empowerment Ramdas B. Atwale. A public meeting was held at BYFY ground at Yaripok Bisnu Naha after the flag hosting ceremony. Observer of RPI Atwale Northeast Binod Nikalji, National Vice President Krishna Milan Sukla, National Secretary and State President Maheshwar Thongnaujam, State General Secretary M. Rosni Kumar, and President of RPI Atwale Wangkhem AC L. Sunil Kumar were among those present at the flag hosting ceremony jointly organized by RPI Wangkhem Mandal and Dr. Nimai Chan Luang Election Committee. Speaking at the public meeting, Union Minister of State for Social Justice and Empowerment Ramdas B. Atwale stated that RPI Atwale Party, which was founded in the name of Baba Ambedkar, is also part of the central government. He stated that the party has been working for the upliftment of the poor, farmers, youths and minority communities and has been giving focus on development of education system in the country. Expressing confidence that at least 4 to 5 candidates of the party will win the elections, he said that the party will be part of the new government in the state and its candidates will even be ministers of the new government. He appealed to the people to support RPI instead of supporting Congress, which he alleged that to be indulging in family politics.
ये पार्टी महिलाओं के लिए काम करती है, ये पार्टी नौजवानों के लिए काम करती है, ये पार्टी बुजुर्गों के लिए काम करती है, ये पार्टी किसान के लिए काम करती है, ये पार्टी खेत मजदूर के लिए काम करती है, ये पार्टी लेबर के लिए काम करती है। सभी लोगों के लिए हमारी पार्टी काम करती है और इस पार्टी के संस्थापक है।
Stating that Wangkhem constituency, which has not had any minister in the past 25 years, will surely have a minister if he wins the elections, Dr. Nimai Chan Luang appealed to the people of the constituency to support him. The flag hosting ceremony of BJP candidate in Thoubal Assembly constituency Leitang Themba Center at his residence at Thoubal Bazaar religious rituals. During the ceremony, large number of people from different polling presented gifts to the candidate. BJP Thoubal Mandal and Election Committee organized the program, which was attended by its members and elders of different localities of the constituency. Flag hosting ceremony of BJP candidate in Nongba Assembly constituency, Dinganglung Elias Dipu Kangmei, was held at different places of the constituency. Members of 17 households from the surrounding areas from different political parties joined the BJP during the program. The flag hosting and blessing seeking was held at Lamdangmei, Beiting, Sangji and Thangal village of the constituency. Speaking on the occasion, Dipu said he had joined the electoral politics to bring a changes which has not been witnessed since the 40 years of Congress rule, particularly in Nongba AC. If elected, he promised to continue the work by MLA Gatkangang for the peoples. With the changes in generations, he decided to compete for the betterment of the society, especially for the young youths who are the pillars of tomorrow, Dipu said.
Welcome to the Harvest Honeymoon. I know I'm being able to. I body language is 200 Wang Sananga. I know speech players who hope you, Hina, Mimiam, so Hazel Nimini, and who are great ticket, seek to be never seems to. I be a silver mayam, not you, Hina, see, Macondelator, the ID testimony on the pizza.
India reported 30,757 new COVID-19 cases with 541 deaths in the last 24 hours, 0.5% higher than yesterday, as per the data shared by the Union Health Ministry. With this, the country's cumulative caseload stood at 4.27 crore and the total fatality count increased to 5.10 lakh across the country. In the last 24 hours, the active cases declined by 37,322, that brought the total active caseload to 3.32 lakh. Meanwhile, a total of 67,538 patients recovered in the last 24 hours, which brought the total recoveries to 4.19 crore across the country. Consequently, India's recovery rate stood at 98.03%. On the other hand, India has administered a total of 34.75 lakh doses in the last 24 hours, which brings the total tally of vaccine doses administered to 174.24 crore across the country. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will dedicate to the nations two additional railway lines connecting Thane and Diva on 18 February via video conferencing. He will also flag off two suburban trains of the Mumbai Suburban Railway, followed by his address on the occasion. Kalyan is the main junction of Central Railway. The traffic coming from north side and southern side of the country merge at Kalyan and moves towards Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj terminus. Out of the 4 tracks between Kalyan and CSTM, 2 tracks were used for slow local trains and 2 tracks for fast local to Mail Express and good trains. To segregate suburban and long distance trains, 2 additional tracks were planned. The 2 additional railway lines connecting Thane and Diva, built with approximately cost of 620 crore rupees and features 1.4 km long rail flyover, 3 major bridges, 21 minor bridges, which significantly remove the interference of long distance trains traffic with suburban trains traffic in Mumbai. Now let's recap the headlines once again. GP NADDA releases BJP's Manipur Manifesto 2022, UPSPA scheduled tribe issues missing in manifesto. Chief Minister BJP indulges in organized violence out of fear for defeat in ensuring elections, alleged AICC election observer of Manipur J. Ram Ramesh. And JDU candidate of High School AC, Pungdongbam Brinda, vows to introduce special policy for people with disabilities. That's the end for today's News English Bulletin. Keep watching Mami TV News for more update.